Hi, my name's Matt Bennett. I'm working for Nestle.
I'm Jess. I also work at Nestle and I'm on the Fast Start programme.
How can young people best prepare themselves for work?
I think one of the really important things about preparing for work is actually thinking about what sort of career you might like to have. With a company like Nestle, we've obviously got so many different functions. We're a massive organisation, the largest food and drinks company in the world. So we've got so many opportunities and there's so many different places you could slot in. So I think one way to really think about it is what sort of things do you like at school, and then think about how they can translate to a career. And then think about what sort of things like you're good at. And a really, really important thing is whilst you're actually in the early stages like of your education, whilst you're like at colleges, high schools, it's really invaluable to get sort of kind of extracurricular experience. Like this sort of thing is excellent experience of project management. And these sorts of skills are going to become really, really valuable whenever you're actually in a career with a company like Nestle, as everything that you do is project management essentially, because we've got such big brands. You will be working on project teams, so this is really great experience to equip you for a career essentially.
And that's probably another reason why the scheme I'm on is really great, is because at a young age you don't necessarily know which way you want to go and like which department, for example, you'd want to have your career with. So if you go on something like I'm on, you get to try out all of them and then decide which one you like best. So if you go in thinking you're going to love, say, sales, and then you work out actually you like supply chain a bit better, you can go into that. So it's not the same as going to uni and doing one subject for 3 years. You go through all the different ones and you get like a really clear insight into all the different ones, and you can make like a better judgment into which one you want to continue with.
General skills do young people need when starting their first job?
I think one of the really key ones is a sense of curiosity, because we accept obviously that whenever you're starting with a role or a company and you maybe haven't had a job before, that you aren't going to know everything straight away. So one thing that is really important is that you show curiosity and a willingness to ask questions, because in asking those questions then you will get to a point that you start to understand more about the business, and that also kind of demonstrates a bit about that energy and that passion that I spoke about earlier.
Why did you choose to work for Nestle?
I chose because it was a way to combine work experience with a university degree. And one of the main advantages of the scheme is that they pay for your degree. So one of the things that put me off uni and I wasn't actually going to go was the fact that I was going to be in near £50,000 worth of debt when I left. With this scheme that doesn't happen, and you get to work for one of the biggest food and drinks manufacturers. So you get this amazing experience for 3 years, you get to try all these different functions. So in 3 years' time you have a funded degree and you usually know where you want to go. So obviously it's a really good opportunity, especially for people that are so young who don't necessarily want to go to uni because they don't know what they're doing. That's why I wanted to work there.
And I think just like linking into that, for me part of the reason why I wanted to work for Nestle is because they are the largest food and drinks company in the world. So for that, you can quite clearly see that there's going to be international opportunities for you in the future, and that's something that's quite important to me. I want to be able to work in different countries and experience what it's like to kind of work out of America or Australia. So you do get that sort of experience in the future if you are with such a large company. So that was what made them a good option for me.
What are the different entry levels to get into the career/sector, and what can I expect the progression routes to be? How would I progress? What would I need to do? Extra training, qualifications, etc.
With Nestle you can come in a level I'm on, which is straight out of college. So you complete A-levels, for which you need 300 UCAS points, because that's what the university requires. And so yeah, you can come in at 18 straight out of college and go through there. You do your degree with Nestle, then you stay on if you like it after your 3 years, and your career goes from there. And you pick which area you want to go in. And Nestle's really good for that. You can move between departments quite regularly. So if you wanted to go across all the functions and try out all of them, then you can. But yeah, it's really good building a career within Nestle. You can go pretty far with them.
And I think Jess and I have got different experiences. Like, cause I came in as a graduate, so I'd done my degree before I started with Nestle. So we've got a really large graduate programme. We've got 7 programmes as well, so that is geared towards newly graduated graduates and people that are just finishing off their degrees. So with the graduate programme, it's done quite similar as Jess's. We do rotations, but they aren't across functions. They're specific to the function you've applied. And the expectation is that at the end of that you would be in a management role. So that's, I guess, what they want from you. and they take it. It's really to help Nestle develop their talent pipeline. Both the programs that we're on are. In terms of what you'd require to get onto the program, you need to have a degree. You need to have an interest in Nestle and in the chosen function that you'd want to get into. And in terms of training, whenever you're actually on the program, you go through various leadership modules. So you really kind of understand what Nestle want from a leader, and they give you as much kind of training and development so that you can be that person whenever you kind of come off of the graduate program.
We also offer apprenticeships in loads of different areas as well that you can do if you don't want to join the grad scheme or the fast start scheme.
Thank you very much for your time.
Okay.